Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. We're going into a great set of revival nights tonight and tomorrow night down at South Campus as I teach you about the remnant. The remnant is not just the place where the judgment of God meets the grace of God. The remnant is the revival in waiting. It's a people set aside by the zeal of God, by the grace of God. They are the people of revival in waiting. I'm going to teach you how the revival people, the remnant, must stand and how they must stand up. We're going to have great fun tonight and tomorrow night. But right now, let's come back to the book of Luke. Luke chapter 14, let's begin with verse 1. One Sabbath, when Jesus went to eat in the house of a prominent Pharisee, he was being carefully watched. Now, always be careful when people are carefully watching you. When people are just really watching you, that's the time to just watch yourself, all right? There in front of him was a man suffering from dropsy. Jesus asked the Pharisees and experts in the law, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath or not?" But they remained silent. So taking a hold of the man, he healed him and sent him on his way. Then he asked them, "If one of you has a son or an ox that falls into a well on the Sabbath day, will you not immediately pull him out?" And they had nothing to say. Now notice, twice they remained silent. They had nothing to say. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you about something today when it comes to people. When you ask people questions and they have nothing to say, there's two things that are occurring. Number one, they don't want to answer because they want to see what you're going to do. They already know what you're going to do, but they're looking for ammunition to source their arguments and their debates. They know what you're going to do. They don't want to say anything that would stop you from giving them more ammunition. So they don't want to answer because they want to see what you will do, even though they already know it. And secondly, they don't want to answer because they know you're right. Jesus said, no, wait a minute. The Old Testament teaches that when an ox falls into the ditch, you take it out even on the Sabbath. Now he said, no, how? How can you not see that it's all right to heal someone who's sick on the Sabbath? Now, they can't fault his logic. They just don't want to agree, so they have nothing to say. Oftentimes in our relationships when we're talking to people, we ask questions, and people do not respond. These are people that you need to be careful of. Either number one, they're looking for ammunition, or number two, they're refusing to acknowledge that you're right.